Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Hardcore Challenge Live. This is our 2016 season wrap-up edition and a little preview of what's coming up, what's next on your calendar as owners in 2017 in the Hardcore Challenge. So let's get obviously into the breakdown of the quick recap of the season that just ended. Obviously, we had the greatest season we'd ever had in the Hardcore Challenge this season. We had a champion that was crowned, that was a record setter, scored more points than anybody had ever scored before in the regular season, carried it through and put up a barrage of points in the playoffs as well, and went out on top as the final champion in the 20-team format. We did have some 4 division winners, as well as I'm Thinking Arby's. We also had Elite East champion Bison Broncos, and Stinky Pinky took the Wild West, and Beaver Street Roar took the Dirty South. Both wild cards came from the Dirty South, as They See Me Rollins, who later turned to Lick My Rawls in the playoffs, and Renegade Misfits. So there were 3 teams fielded from the Dirty South. Unfortunately, though, the Dirty South still did not raise a cup in the 20-team format. We never brought one home. We sent 1 team overall that time, or 2 teams, excuse me, with the Beaver Street Roar going this year. 2 teams overall making Hardcore Bowl appearances, but the Dirty South never hoisted it. That just means that hopefully the Dirty South, the Dirty South AFC, which myself, the Beaver Street Roar, Des Caught It, and unknown recruit to be named will hopefully that means we'll be raising the cup in the 32-team format. We'll see. But so basically, that's what happened. We ended up with the Beaver Street Roar facing off against I'm Thinking Arby's in a Hardcore Bowl 8. It wasn't a real great game. Arby's kind of took it right out of the gate and pretty much ran with it the whole time. There was a glimpse there of a moment that you thought the Beaver Street Roar maybe putting something together and have a chance, but it was pretty much a freaking track meet out of the gate. So it wasn't the closest game. There were some close games in the playoffs, so there were a couple exciting ones in the earlier rounds, but that one definitely wasn't a nail biter. I think we all knew who was taking that one. So now looking ahead. All right, the next thing obviously that's going to happen, the next 2 things we got coming up in the 2017, which should be on the owner's calendar, are as follows. Obviously, the first thing that's coming up in the NFL draft is the NFL draft. The NFL draft is Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That is 4/27 through 4/29. So obviously, Hardcore Challenge does not want to do anything in the first rounds on Thursday night or the second rounds on Friday night, and so we will do ours at the end of, basically towards the end of the NFL draft. We will have the Hardcore Challenge live draft lottery at 4/29. It will be on a Saturday evening. The time may change. We'll probably do it 8 or 9 Eastern time. But we are going to, first we will do the live draft lottery for the AFC, draft all of the positions for it, and then go right into the NFC and do the live draft lottery for the NFC. All the positions will be drafted live right on the show. We're going to have a lottery machine. There will be no funny business. It will be all drafted bam, right here, right in front of you. We'll set it all up right here. Everything will be drafted live, and that's how we're gonna see who gets the number one pick in both conferences for their draft. So, typically the season reboot on NFL.com comes right around draft time. Draft time, May 1st, last week in April. It fluctuates season to season, but typically right around there is when the league reboots. Obviously, this reboot is going to be even more involved for me setting it up in the off season and getting everything correct. We've got 2 separate conferences. I'm going to be moving owners from one conference to another conference, so there's going to be a lot of email exchanges, getting everybody set up. Guys, I'm going to have to drop guys out of one conference. I'm going to remain with the one league, drop it down to the 16 to build the one conference, and then create another custom league mirroring the one that will create the other conference. So it's going to take me a minute to set it up and get everybody moved around. So obviously bear with me as I will move you guys, and then basically we'll be constructing the leagues as I move you. I will keep everybody alerted through the groups to the progress. When the schedules are posted, what have you. When everything's set, and that way everybody will know. Draft is obviously will be the week right before the season starts, as it always is. We will be having the 2 drafts, obviously the draft for the AFC and then the draft for the NFC. We'll try to stream one or the other for the vice versa, so that everybody's up to date on what's going on in both conferences. We'll be posting everything to the groups, keeping everybody abreast of both conferences. Once we get both conferences set, unlike we have before, we're going to make both conferences public. Anybody can view both conferences to see how they're doing. You can't do anything, but you can go view the other conference and have total access to be able to view what's going on, and keep up with who's the big dog on the mirror other side of you. That way you can watch the playoffs as they unfold, and keep up with live scores in both sides of the league as we're going through. So obviously we're moving up to 32 teams from 20. It's going to be a big move. I'm going to have probably a few periodic shows between now and the draft, but obviously there's not a lot to talk about. But I will probably throw out a few update shows between now and the draft. But that's pretty much it. The next big date that we put on the calendar, I'm going to post an event to the page as soon as I'm done with the show. But the next big event is going to be 4/29, the evening of 4/29, Saturday 4/29, the last day of the NFL draft. The Hardcore Challenge will be having our live draft lottery that will determine your positions for the 2017 Hardcore Challenge draft, which is the largest, most important draft in the history of the Hardcore Challenge. This is the draft where you get the players that could possibly build your core that leads you to multiple championships. Or you're the frickin' Browns. One or the other. So, we'll see. It will be interesting to see. Because our league has been around so long that I have a spreadsheet with all of our owners. I have all of your track records. I know your winning percentages. I know everything. So there's obviously a top and a bottom tiers of our owners in our league. I mean, you have the RBs, the Oski Assassins, the Bison Broncos, myself, Des Caught Stinky Pinky, Donkey Punch. But you've got the guys that are even in that are a little harder. So you've got your levels of owners. And I wonder, once this reboots, are those same owners that are at the top now going to be at the top? Or is this reboot just what some needed? So it's going to be interesting. It's an awesome draft. I'm looking forward to it. I'm already working on my strategy. I know who I want with my number 1 pick. I know who I want with my number 2 pick, 3 and 4. So it's just after that where I'm wondering what I'm going to do. But, fantasy football's pretty much over. I mean, I'm sure some of you guys are still playing whatever these playoff leagues are, but it's pretty much over. There's only 4 teams left in playing right now. My team's not one of them. Smile on my face, the Cowboys not one of them. And yeah, so getting ready for the draft lottery. It's our next event, 4/29. Remember that. That is our next event that we are going to have in the Hardcore Challenge. Probably won't have another show for a while. Obviously not a lot of info to pass on. So enjoy the rest of the NFL season, playoffs, Super Bowl, Pro Bowl, what have you. We will be back with you soon. Good luck. Game on.